All new on Planet Nikki Shields.
Today, we've discovered something extraordinary. A rarity in its natural habitat. In a modern-day world abundant with crossovers and SUVs, there lies an estate. And what makes this species so unique is that it's a Vauxhall Astra. Now, I must approach with care. Oh, bugger. It's gone.
Fortunately, I managed to tame that clover green beast back, and by the look of it, it's evolved. There's some new styling, new wheels and new colours. As well as that clover green, there's also now contour white as well. Vauxhall has also fitted a brand new battery, which means a longer range of up to 281 miles. But probably the greatest evolution of all is that this car is now much, much cheaper than before.
So before we get into the exterior, I just want to explain. So Manos and I have been flown out to Croatia, which obviously is absolutely beautiful here. We've been put up in a really nice hotel. It's basically a press trip with all the bells and whistles. We're absolutely loving it, but I would say it's quite a big event for a car that hasn't really changed that much. Let's be honest. So Vauxhall are calling it a facelift, which is good, I would just like to say, because I think the old Vauxhall Astra looked good.
The outgoing Vauxhall Astra Electric is a perfectly good car. It has sharp looks, it's nice to drive and efficient. Like really efficient. But whilst it was efficient, the Astra was very expensive to buy, with top models costing over £40,000. It was pricey when it launched, and as time went on, the Astra's high prices made it almost impossible to recommend over considerably cheaper and more fashionable SUVs like the Kia EV3.
So I'm glad they haven't done a complete reworking of it, because the good news is I still like the way it looks. But there have been a few small tweaks. Let me point them out to you. So first of all, we've got the logo. It now illuminates, and I do think it looks good. It's part of this sort of compass lighting setting with this light bar that goes all the way across. If you look a little bit further down, we've had a few little tweaks to the grille underneath, some nice new alloy wheels. So you get the 18-inch on the Ultimates and the GS, and then the entry level, the Griffin, you get the 17-inch. In terms of design, I'm kind of on the fence, to be honest. I feel like they're just a little bit too complicated. Anyway, as we move down, this is where things get interesting. You get an extra 30 centimetres at the rear when you get the estate car, and then these permanently illuminating lights, which, given the fact that this is a green car, I feel like they're sort of like moderately sophisticated Christmas tree decorations, but I like them. They're going to leave a lasting impression on the passers-by. Now, my question to you is, so far what we've seen, I think you'll agree they're kind of tweaks, aren't they? This is not a Demi Moore facelift by any stretch. What do we think? Did you want more Demi Moore in this car, or are you happy that they've kept a lot of the originals?
Another new addition on the Ultimate is the new IntelliLux LED headlights. It uses over 50,000 light elements to automatically adjust the beam, and they also prevent glare for other drivers while keeping the road clearly illuminated. The system reacts faster and more precisely than before, so it basically helps drivers spot objects 30 to 40 metres earlier if you were driving at 50 miles per hour, giving them an extra 2 seconds to respond.
Right, who fancies a game of Spot the Difference? Yeah? All right, ready, steady, go. Tricky, isn't it? I mean, not a huge amount has changed. Some of the materials has changed. There's more recycled material in here, including on the steering wheel. This is now vegan leather. We have said goodbye to shiny black plastic. Amen to that. So we don't have it here up on the steering wheel. We don't have it here in the center console. It's just this kind of matte grey finish, which is actually really nice. And having done the fingerprint test with my sticky, greasy fingers, it's still clean, which is wonderful. Thank you so much for changing that. I very much appreciate it. But other than that, it's kind of identical. Okay, so apparently there have been a few changes to the infotainment system, but if I'm honest, I'm struggling to find what they are. It feels very similar to the last model. And if I'm honest again, I don't love it. You do have the shortcut menus up here, but it's a little bit clunky at times. It's a little bit convoluted to get to where you want to go. The graphics are fine, they're nothing amazing. But honestly, for a car of this value, it's more than adequate. Now, one thing you didn't spot, because I'm sitting on it, is the seat. It's changed, and it is called the IntelliSeat because it's so intelligent, it's going to make your journey incredibly comfortable for you. What they have done is they've basically kind of carved out the middle bit of your cushion underneath. The idea behind it is it releases pressure on your coccyx to make it a very comfortable experience. Love the idea. More on that later. The other thing I've noticed is, on the door, we've got this lovely soft fabric here, but it's a shame it just didn't carry on. I mean, this is, again, the ultimate model, so, you might not get that in the Griffin, the entry level, but it's a shame that they just didn't carry on, and you've got the plastic bit there. But generally, on the whole, it's very similar to how it was before. We've got a nice little cover for your 2 cup holders, a nice little cover for your wireless charging of your phone, and 2 USB-C ports. Oh, and a little 12-volt plug as well. Yeah, average storing space in there. Then the usual drive mode button. They're not going to say goodbye to that. I can't wait till they say goodbye to that. I feel like I've seen that drive mode button over and over again. I mean, credit to this car. I do like how the 2 display screens are set up, 10 inches each, and it kind of curves round, faces into the driver. And you do have those physical buttons for temperature and also some shortcuts as well into the menu. Nice, easy access, easy reach, makes it super simple while you're driving. But maybe I would have liked a little bit more from the infotainment system. Right, so back here, actually, it's not bad for space. I mean, that's obviously set to my driving position. I've got a little bit of wiggle room there. Not loads of extra space, but it's going to be okay. I mean, adults might be fighting for the front seat, but kids and small adults will be pleasantly comfortable back here. And you can see again, you've got this sort of similar design from the front seats. This material, it feels like a kind of Alcantara, but it is a 100% recycled material again. And then you've got the usual, we've got a little charge port back here. I think it actually feels quite spacious and light because you've got the really quite big sunroof here, and you've got the 3rd window back there. So it feels maybe a bit more spacious than it actually is. Oh, and some extra cup holders. Lovely.
Let's talk boot size quickly. The Sports Tourer Estate is perfect if you need more space. You really do get loads more. It has over 500 litres of luggage room. Or if you go for the hatchback, space still stands at over 350 litres. A bit down on cars like the Coupe Reborn, but the Astra's nice square boot shape is very useful.
Let's talk charging for a minute. There are a couple of firsts with this new Astra. So it's the first time that it has vehicle-to-load charging, and it's also the first time it comes with a heat pump as standard. It does 20 to 80% in 32 minutes, and it also comes with a 100 kilowatt DC charger or 11 kilowatt AC charging. So all in all, pretty good for the value.
Now, if this isn't sounding like the right car for you, or perhaps you just want to take a little look at some used Astras, then head over to electrifying.com for more pre-loved cars and plenty of advice.
Right, well, that's my one job really this weekend, is to drive the car. Shall we drive the car? If you do hear the sound of a cat purring in the background, I didn't bring my cat, mainly because I don't have a cat. But it is because this car is actually the ultimate model, and with it, you get massage seats. Well, I'm just going to say it's been quite a long journey getting here. It was quite a long flight. It was then quite a long drive, and my back's feeling its age. So I've put my massage seats on because there's been a lot of hype about this, and I've been recommended the cat paw. And I'm not going to lie, the cat paw is excellent. Perfect level of firmness, but it does make the noise like a cat purring. I mean, there are other options as well, and they all sound like a cat purring. You've got shoulders, snake, ooh, side to side, butterfly. Yeah, basically tried and tested, and I can report back very good massage seats. What I'm a little bit disappointed about is how the seats are supposed to be more comfortable. They're not that comfortable. They've been designed ergonomically to basically give you a bit of extra padding on each side of your bum, and then your coccyx are supposed to be able to just be free and relax and be more comfortable. It kind of has worked a little bit, there's a marginal improvement, not the comfiest seats, but with the massage, then it's a pretty good position to be in. Right, back to driving impressions. So, quick reminder of the facts and figures, shall we? So this has had an improved battery. It's gone from a 51 kilowatt hour battery to a 54 kilowatt hour battery. Now, what does that do to the range? So it increases it, not by a huge amount, but from 260 miles to 281. Now, yes, I know that's not even 10%, but in a situation when perhaps you're doing winter driving, an extra 10% is actually quite important because it means you still get the same amount of efficiency. Our Vauxhall Astra test that we did in 2024, so on the previous version, won our Electrifying Efficiency Award because we're so efficient. We managed to get 5 miles per kilowatt hour, which is pretty good going, and we are expecting something similar with this version. Now, the official WLTP range is 281, and the official WLTP efficiency is just under 4 miles per kilowatt hour. So it's still really efficient. You know, if you're actually getting 280 miles of range, then I think that's pretty good going for a car of this level and this price, which I can't wait to tell you about later. Now, when it comes to the Regen, it doesn't have a B button, which is quite nice actually, to be honest. We've got 3 options. The steering wheel, you've got little paddles here, so we can go from 1, 2 and 3. I would say 1 is a bit light, 2's nice, 3 is a little bit heavy for me, maybe good for city driving, but I quite like it on 2. There's no 1 pedal driving though, so if that is your thing, this is not going to be the car for you.
While the battery is new, the old car's electric motor has been carried over, so it has 154 horsepower that drives the front wheels, giving a leisurely 0 to 62 miles per hour acceleration time of 9.3 seconds.
Okay, it's not going to be breaking any speed records, but I would say what I have noticed is despite those figures, it does actually feel quite agile. I think it's quite a light car, it's quite nippy, it's quite agile, so don't be put off by 9.5 seconds. Maybe that doesn't put you off. Maybe that's more than adequate. Another improvement they've made is making the windows more soundproof. And I've got to say, I've done a little wind test. We just went up to about 75 miles per hour and it remains relatively quiet. So I'm going to give the windows a big thumbs up. Another area of improvement has been made on the steering, so you can actually feel an improvement to that. It's just a little bit more directional, it's a little bit sharper into the corners, and actually there's a little bit less roll. So the suspension is definitely improved, but we were on some bumpy roads earlier and you could definitely feel it under you. So I think, you know, if you live in an area with lots of potholes and bumpy roads, then don't expect the smoothest of drives with the Astra. But again, you know, for a car of this value, it's a very comfortable place to be. So as you expect, you could change the driving modes down here. And we've been driving in normal. So you've got the option of sport, graphics change to red. And then we've also got the other option of eco, which, see if it gives me any extra range. Yeah, my range has just jumped up 252, and in eco it's jumped up to 258. Personally, I quite like driving it in sport mode. Wonder why that is. Also, I just have to mention, my bum's going numb. These seats are quite uncomfortable. Sorry. I'm going to have to ask for some extra cushioning, please. Maybe it is time to stretch our legs.
Okay, so basically the new Astra is pretty much like the old Astra. No, not that old. The last Astra, the last version. Speaking of old though, I need to quickly point something out. So, you know that I said the new alloy wheels, that I was kind of on the fence about the design. Well, I sent a photo of them to the Electrifying team and it's caused debate, havoc in the office. Tom Barnard, big fan of the 3-spoke design from the 1990s, so he absolutely loves these. Is he right? If he is, you better tell me in the comments. Always going to be smug if he's right. Ugh. Anyway, that's my final thoughts. So the old Astra, the previous version, was hard to recommend because it was so expensive. But Vauxhall have addressed this. Let's talk pricing. You need to hear this. When this car goes on sale, it's going to start at £29,995. That's £5,000 cheaper than before, or £3,500 after the government electric car grant, which was deducted from the old model.
Now, to make it nice and simple for us, the hatch and the sports tourer now cost exactly the same, so you don't actually have to pay any extra for more practicality if you want it. Thank you very much. And little birdie tells me that this Astra will also be eligible for the £1,500 government electric car grant, just like the old one was. So we could be looking at a car that could cost from £28,495, which suddenly makes the Astra so much more appealing, right? I mean, the official price for the GS is going to be £31,495, and the top spec Ultimates comes in at £33,995. So basically a £4,000 increase on the Griffin. The big question is it too little, too late? Or have Vauxhall finally made the Astra a very appealing electric tourer or electric hatchback? Let us know in the comments below.